And the Bonera, which is the next, is a blend between Nero d'Avola and Cab Franc. Cab Franc is a red grape that I like a lot. I'm working more and more with Cab Franc in different parts of the world, and what I like very much of Cab Franc is that, you know, as opposed to Cab Sauv, which is a bit more heavy and just a bit more difficult to me, the Cab Franc has got a beautiful, refreshing, veggie edge, like some hints of balsamic, like aromas, which I like a lot. So to me, Cab Franc is really a very elegant, complex type of wine, and I like it more. I mean, thank God it's becoming more popular now. Eh? Because even the greenness a few years ago was, ooh, stay away from that, is hell. And I said, wait a second, there are many degrees of greenness. There are some beautiful, refreshing, elegant vegetal notes, which are not hell at all. But everything should be sweet and dark, and, you know, wait, give me a break, you know. That's so we need to recover the flavors which have been banned for many years and considered bad. Who says that? Well, also because they are expression of grapes and places and climates, so you have to respect them. You don't want everything being as you like, you know. Just that's a lack of culture to me. And you need to follow and understand Mother Nature diversity, and all the flavors that can be offered, they're interested. Then you decide what you pick, obviously, but you have to respect all of them. And I think the mission of any producer should be the one of delivering, you know, what he has got, combining soil, grape varieties, and climate, period. And you see, you experience throughout all the wine no invasive oak at all, because at this price point there is a lot of low use sometimes, you know, either cheaps or whatever. They give the kind of apparently appealing oak flavor that we don't enjoy, because I believe we already achieve a very good juiciness, drinkability, and good balance without adding, you know, more, you know, no barbecue sauce. And then, you know, the second last is the Cartagho. The Cartagho is a selection of, is 100% Nero d'Avola, and is a selection of some of the best Nero d'Avola vineyard, you know, in the whole Mandrarossa area. It's a classic wine, has been made for a long time, and it's really the classic Nero d'Avola. We started, you know, aging that in small barrels, and since I started, you know, I didn't want to change overnight, so sometimes people are having a hard time to get rid of barrels, and so in general I advise them to at least not use the barrel for too much of a long time, because at the beginning, when the wine is very young, is dirty, is warm, and there's plenty of lees, proteins, polysaccharides, it may require a bit more oxygen, and, you know, it can stand much better the small size of the barrel. But then over time, after 5-6 months, when the wine gets cleaner, then is where the oak becomes, you know, very heavy and overpowers the wine flavor. And then when I advise my clients to rack off the small barrels and go into larger cask or cement. I forgot to tell you that you know, the premium range, not all of them, but the Cartagho, the Bertolino Soprano, which was the Grillo, and the last one, they were all fermented in cement. I've been one of the big supporter of cement, the rediscovery of cement, because again, like I was telling, for farming, all we are doing now and looks new is not new at all. Also, the use of cement is actually going back to the future, because cement was, I grew up, when I started working 40 years ago, was all cement. And then stainless steel came, and now there is a trend back to cement. So it's actually going back to the future, because I like cements a lot, because cement has got a little bit of porosity, and is not a dead material like stainless steel is, and is providing a little bit of oxygen during the fermentation, but also during the aging is great. I like to age some of the wines in cement, because really they keep the integrity even better than large cask. It's fantastic, and is a cement without lining inside, so very pure and rough. Otherwise, if you put the lining, obviously you lose the oxygenation. And also, what is good about the new cement tanks that we are using, that they have the cooling system set into the concrete wall. And that's great, because as opposed to having the jacket or a plate inside, is a more even cooling, is less aggressive, because if you are in east, if you get next to the jacket, it's like a punch in your face. Or if you get next to the plate inside, because it's very cold, as opposed to the cooling of the cement, which is all spread out, very even and very gentle. It's basically, that kind of cooling is like having the cement tanks underground. So that's great. For the fermentation, the yeast love it, and it's really very, very good. So all our premium range is, we have incorporated more and more cement in the last few years, and we are fermenting a lot of it in cement. And this one, the Cartagho, was also fermented in cement. So Nero d'Avola has got beautiful spices, it is a very spicy wine, a little peppery. And again, it's very textural, because it's got beautiful acidity, so in the mouth is very alive.
Do you use the same plots every year for this wine?
No, because it's also important to understand the growing season. There are more humid growing season, more dry, more cool, and more hot. And depending on the growing season, you pick. There are always very good vineyards, but some years, those who have, for example, more of a north exposure, they are doing better in hotter years, and vice versa. So we play with, there are always the same, say 10 vineyards, but we play with them according to the growing season. And again, it's not concentrated, but it's very textural. It's very, again, we are coming from descriptors that were supposed to describe the best wine: concentration, power, viscosity, layers of vanilla, chocolate, coffee, coconut, blah, blah, blah. To me, the descriptors are more purity, authenticity, elegance, juiciness, drinkability, energy, vitality, tension. To me, are more interesting descriptors for a red wine, and obviously, balance is important overall. And the last one is the equivalent of Bertolino Soprano. So Terre del Sommaco is a very, very special macro terroir, highly limestoney, with a very high concentration of limestone, and you can pick up that in the mouth. It's got an amazing energy. So as I like to say, it's got high voltage. Voltage to me is very important. I measure the quality in volts. I don't like 110. I like more 380, but to get to 380 takes time. But this is probably 220. But it's really very alive in the mouth. It's got beautiful vitality, tension, depth, is more vertical than horizontal. Just concentration is more like this, and texture is more like this. This has been, is 100% Nero d'Avola. This is 2016, so you still feel how fresh it is, despite it's already 3 years old. But it's really has been fermented in concrete without any excess of cap management or all that operation like bleeding, lava punching down and rock and return, and just. You had to let the skins release with their own time all the components. Don't force them to do that in a shorter time, because you break the balance. So it's a very gentle cap management. And then it's been aged in a large untoasted cask of 5,000 liters. Again, the acidity is beautiful. This is now in bottle for 1 year. At the beginning, the acidity was pretty aggressive, but we wanted, because a lot of Nero d'Avola are very highly manipulated, because people are concerned that Nero d'Avola is a grape that has a very high acidity, and we want to keep it because that's its essence. We don't want to change it. But obviously, you need to give the acidity a bit of time in bottle just to soften up, and I think now it's really perfect. I love it in the mouth because it's got this beautiful tension, which is really showing. Limestone is very much about energy and tension and vitality. It's really, what you get from that kind of soil type. And most people, again, you look at the Lado Nero d'Avola, they are much lower in acid, and then they add sugar to balance the acidity. So they manipulate because they are uncomfortable to deliver the wine as it is. So this lack of confidence. And confidence is rule number 1 to do something interesting in life, whatever you do. If you don't have confidence in yourself and what you do, you are a commodity, which is not fun.